Welcome back to the channel. Here I have a video titled Society is Changing and Most People Can't Even See It. If you hear anything in the background, I got the laundry going. Just ignore it. Let's see what this brother's talking about. Let's get into it.
What's good with y'all? Also, here you go, Sean. Hope y'all doing well. Y'all see I'm just cooling, you know what I'm saying? But something I want to talk about, man. Our society is changing right in front of our eyes. Right in front of our eyes. And I don't think people even really notice it, man. Like, something I don't really do. I don't really watch the news. I don't really pay attention to media for real, man. You know, I truly genuinely believe that you have to control the things you consume. You know, the reason why a lot of people are so paranoid is the content they consume. Like, if you're constantly watching doom and gloom things, if you're constantly watching things about the end of the world, of course you're going to be paranoid about different things.
And that's facts. Yesterday's video, I talked about the power of your time, attention, and energy. There's a reason why people are trying to hijack your attention, because whatever you input into your brain, you're going to have some sort of output in your real world. The brain is an energy processing machine. This is not something that's woo-woo. This is backed by science. If you take a person and you have them only watch negative content, they're going to be more nihilistic, versus the person who is consuming optimistic content, they're going to be more optimistic. This is why I tell some guys, you have to be very careful about the manosphere content that you consume. If all you're consuming is 304 this, 304 this, 304 this, it's no wonder a lot of guys think every girl is this way. There has to be some sort of balance or more leaning towards how you would like to view the world. But don't confuse that with what reality is. But understand that there are pockets of reality to where it's more negative versus more positive.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I really, walk a fine line of controlling what I put in front of my face, right? But this the LA riots, the Marines being sent there.
And again, not even to toot my own horn here, right? But I just want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I have no idea what the LA riots, I didn't even know there were riots or that the Marines were sent out there. I had no idea. Why? Because it doesn't concern me at all. I'm nowhere near LA, and that doesn't affect the vision that I have for myself, that I'm dialed in every day to creating. I'm just now learning about the LA riots, whatever that is.
Y'all remember being in history class and y'all will read different stories or different chapters, and you would be like, why in the world didn't people do things? Like, how in the world didn't people see this coming? Like, what in the world were people thinking, right? That's the
I actually do that a lot. And I understand how it's much more complicated, but when I was a kid, I used to do that a lot. I'm like, you mean you're standing next to a damn near super villain? I'm like, why didn't one of you dudes just pop them? Like, okay, you would have to perish in the moment, but I mean, listen, you helped society. You literally took out a warmonger or somebody who was really destroying your city, and you were next to him with a pistol. You could have just popped them and just, like, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's obviously a lot more complicated than that.
time we live in where different things happen that have never happened before, and we kind of just, and we don't really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go into martial law and things like that, but you have to think, right? You just have to understand how different things start to happen, understand how different nations start to face their downfall. People, they've been talking about martial law for a minute. I see content creators talk about that often. But my point being, different things are happening in this world right now where our world is changing in front of our eyes, and it's really just a matter of, like, number one, can we recognize it's actually happening? See, like, this is my thing. This is what irks my soul with a lot of people is different things happen, and it's like people are incapable of like acknowledging it or thinking about it. See, I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you to think. You know what I'm saying?
That's too much for some people. Even telling people to think is too much for some people because you got to understand the world is always changing and it always will change. You're not going to tell me about a generation that didn't change from its last generation. Now again, I will say that our generation, even the next generation, the last generation, we probably went through a lot more drastic changes, but again, I'm biased because I'm alive. You know what I mean? If we look back at history, each generation has like a thing that kind of shook society in a way to where it made things change either for the positive or the negative.
Like even I don't really have an opinion on political parties and things like that, man. But the people who really going through it right now, you know, if you're Hispanic, a Latino, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Latinos, but if you're Hispanic, you're really going through it right now. But then you take a step back and you like, hold up, y'all voted for this man. Y'all voted for this administration. So that's what I mean, where people got to learn how to think. It's just about thinking. You know, it's just about
It's not even learning how to think. A lot of people will vote for things or choose things that will affect some people negatively because they think that it's not going to happen to them. Right? I was the same way with the C-19 virus. I didn't care a lick about the virus because it wasn't going to happen to me. Right? And even though I think it did for like 4 or 5 days, it still wasn't to the point till the whole country was shutting down that it actually affected me to where I'm like, okay, now I have to care. Most people are just trying to align themselves with a social character. That way they can be viewed a certain way and they'll vote or do whatever it is, wear the hats, wear the whatever, but then it affects them. And then what do? Turn around, cry, and ask for help. It's a performance.
sitting back and analyzing and not accepting what they give us. Once you like understand something about this world, pretty much everything we're told is a lie. Pretty much everything they give us is a lie. This world is a facade. You know, you have to understand a lot of people are evil, man, especially at the top, right? So being able to understand that, man, um, it really helps with
And that comes with growing up, right? Because who told you that they were going to tell you the truth? Who told you that these people were good people? You know what I mean? It's like we just assumed because why would a group of people put somebody who's a liar or who's a bad person at the top in control of things, right? But again, we're thinking, and you can't ask the average person to think.
with being able to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you're an end times believer, um, lots of different things happen on a day-to-day basis that I would see why you think that, right? But at the same time, like no one knows the day nor hour, right? So my thing is this crazy, man? Like people don't really see like everything's changing, especially if you from the US, man. Like our whole country's changing. How we go about things is changing. Everything is changing and people don't see it. Um, am I scared? No. You know, do I go about my life differently than I used to? Yeah, I would say so. You know, but that's something God gives me is peace, man. Like I don't really be worried, you know what I'm saying? Uh but it's crazy, man. Like even like talking about the LA riots, you have to think those riots aren't even like the biggest thing we've seen. That's not like the biggest riots we've seen. Those aren't the biggest protests we've seen. This isn't anything major, you know. So you have to think if you sending in troops for something that's minor, some might not say it's minor, but for something that really doesn't need it, you know, who's to stop you from continuing to do that whenever you don't like something that's going on? You know what I'm saying? Uh, that's why it's so important to be educated. it's so important to be educated, man. Like, so many people are so uneducated, man. Like, we live in a society where we're kind of just told what to do and we're told what to think. And
Speaking of that, I think I read a stat, and again, double check this, but it was like 40% of the US population would be considered illiterate. And I thought that was insane that it was that number. I kind of want to look it up. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and look it up. What percentage of US is illiterate? I'm going to include myself because I can't spell. All right. Approximately 21% of adults in the United States are considered to have low literacy skills. That's absolutely crazy. And then reported 4% of US that have literacy below. That's wild. 20% of 300 million is actually insane. Let's get back to it.
you never really hear differentiating opinions because you can't really talk about things if you're opposing another person's views that is the popular view. You know, that's one thing that has been lost in probably like the past 10 years is like freedom of speech, freedom of even thought, you know, like I remember when cancel culture first like came on the scene, bro, where if you tweeted the wrong thing, that was your job. You know, that might not be. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. It's the same now. You know, it's just we know it. You know, people used to like not understand cancel culture. Now we all understand it. Where when you're in different spaces, man, you're not going to speak your opinion about things. You know, and that's a huge reason why so many people can't see what's going on. Is the people who do see what's going on, we can't even tell y'all. We can't even tell y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just important, man, to have your house in order. It's important to be tapped in with God in times like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. My thing, man, like, I will say, it's so interesting because, like, I'll hear, like, the concept of what's going on in different places. And unless it affects you, you kind of just keep it pushing, right? That's kind of the society we live in, man. Like, unless it's affecting you, like, you don't really pay too.
That's how most people are. Unless it's really affecting them, they just keep it pushing because that's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever monstrosity that is happening that's not around you, like not in your vicinity, like what can you really do, right? Probably make some videos or bring awareness to it. That's cool. But like, as far as I'm not the type of awareness person, I'm the type of like, what do we need to do? Let's take the steps to figure it out. And when you think about that towards like world horrible events, there's nothing we can do, nothing that I'm willing to sacrifice to fix, right? I'm not going to go to some war torn country, sacrifice my life, my family's future, my community's future, because I'm trying to help whoever the hell is what's going on, right? That's just normal people, man.
Too much mind to it. You know, but like I said last year, bro, I said this in like November. I said the difference between in the past and now is at some point you're going to start to face different things, and different things are actually going to affect you. You know, like overseas, man, they've been at war for years now, but that doesn't matter to me because I'm not overseas. But what happens when it's at my front doorstep? You know, uh, it's everything's changing, bro. You know what I'm saying? The world is changing. It's just crazy. That's all I had to say, man. Let me know what y'all think.
But yeah, man, the world is changing. My thing is, you should be, first of all, you should have your plan in place, right? The vision that you have in place. Second of all, once you have the vision in place, once you have the plan in place, then you have to figure out where is the best place to execute on this plan. If you're looking to save as much money and make as much as money as possible, then your plan is to stay in the US, work 60, 70 hours a week and just stack your bread. That's a good place, right? But if your goal is something else, maybe like raising a family, I wouldn't suggest the US, right? Or finding a long-term partner, I wouldn't suggest the US. I would suggest a different place. It's up to you to strategize with yourself and figure figure out where is the best place to execute on the plan that I have based on what is currently going on in that place, if that makes any sense. Anyway, what do you guys think of this video? I would love to know your thoughts down below. If you made it this far, let me know. Say made it this far. Like the video if you want me to do more like this. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.